Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Wise One Awakened podcast, where we come at you with the truth. We tell you how it is. We tell you become wise, become awakened. My channel deal with a wave of topics, so we just talk about it, man. We're not really just, this is just a particular channel that talk about, politics or women. We talk about everything that affect all daily lives, So mainly because most of the guys, people that watch my channel are men, so I tend to focus subject on that more. And I'm a man, so the topic I'm gonna discuss is how it affect men around the world. So I'll talk about stuff like that, right? But I don't want to be, I guess, too many focus on those kind of like manosphere and dating type of content. I want to keep my channel more broad and open, so I can just discuss more than just dating and relationship and things like that. Because these things, the things that are affecting life, is not just that, right? So I want like kind of like a 360 of what is it to be a human being in this world, right? What is it to be wise? What is it to be awakened? So this is what this channel is about. So let's get into it, right? The topic of the day is the manipulated man, right? The manipulated man. All men today in Western part of the world, right? Or they manipulated. What do I mean by manipulated, right? Men today, right? Or their whole like paradigm or their whole way of thinking, they are a manipulated creature, right? I mean, if you think about it, who else put themselves in danger for everybody else? Who else go to war for everybody else? Who else do the hard job? These type of things that men do, and they do the sacrifice that they make every day, right? And if you think about it, do they really have to do that? They could kind of be selfish and just kind of live and do their own thing, right? They don't have to help everyone that's not handicapped or unable or not strong enough. They don't have to do that, right? But maybe society has told us that this is what they have to do. In a modern society, the men must do this, must do that, and you start looking at who are the oppressor and who are the one that's being oppressed. So you can look at it from different perspective. I think people will disagree saying men or not, but I think that men are the oppressed gender. It is, in fact, it's not women. I think men are the oppressed gender. Here's my reason for saying why, the manipulating why men are, I think, are the oppressed gender, and they really not running this country. Now, I don't know about other countries, parts of the world, because I don't live in that system. I don't live in that paradigm. I live here in America, so I can discuss that more. I can talk about that more in the research and the videos and stuff that I watch and just real life stuff that I dealt with. I can tell that this is one of those things that American men, Western men are dealing with, right? So yeah, I think men are the oppressed gender. I think so. I mean, they're willing to sacrifice everything, including their own life, for the other gender and for their family, for their kids, for everything. Right? They're willing to sacrifice that. Men will do that. Men will work, to their death. So let's talk about it, right? So, um, hands down, men do all the hard jobs, all the difficult jobs, electrician, journeyman. Like, I mean, you're talking about all working an oil rig, jobs that require to work in war zones. Majority of those jobs are done by men. I mean, you're talking about building walls, building houses, building skyscrapers, any job that you think of to make society very comfortable for everybody else. Men do those type of jobs. Why do they do it? Why do they have to do it? Right? Why is it men that's making those sacrifices for everybody else, but constantly they're saying that men are the oppressor, right? They're the one that's oppressing everyone. They're the one that's oppressing the other gender. And when you look at it, really, they don't have to do that. They don't have to make the other sex life easier or other men's life easier. They can just say, "Nah, man, I just want to live peacefully in the woods somewhere. I don't have to put up with this," right? So that's one of the reasons why I think men are the oppressed and the manipulated gender, right? So men will work to their death, right? They'll work till old age and give everything to their family, right? Right? They pass on the life insurance policy. They'll give the house to their family, right? Men die earlier than women, right? They die like I think it's 7 years earlier than women, and guess what? They'll they'll work to death. Most of the gen they stop working early, and they stay home and focus on raising the family, and the men just keep pushing through, right? In order to I don't know, there's different reasons, I guess, to get the approval of the other gender. that they doing a good job, that they taking care of the family, like they living by society standards. So they are applause for pretty much putting their neck on the line, right? Because I mean, if you watch any video nowadays, like on Instagram or Facebook, you will hear of another gender will tell you that the man is supposed to have this before they even deal with them. The man is supposed to have this amount of money. They gotta have a house. They gotta have a lot of things. So it's always the stipulation is always on the man. The man must have this, So men or love on the condition that they can provide, and the condition that they can provide something, right? They are machines, right? They are machine, and if you think about it, the other gender don't have to do none of that. They'll tell you literally like they don't have to bring anything to the table. They don't have to do anything, right? So I think they all manipulated, right? They all manipulated to give everything they have to the other gender. I mean, just going into any divorce trial, you will see who's winning at the end of that, right? Any marriage in America, you will see who gets more benefit, the man or the woman. You know, who gets to stay home and relax and chill. I mean, they'll call it a job working and cleaning the house or you're taking care of the kid. I mean, that's a responsibility. That's a duty as a family. That likes the man have a duty, right? The man duty is to go to work and pay the bills, make sure the family is good and safe, and put all his money into raising the family. He doesn't look at it like, oh, me raising my kid is a job. No, it's a duty. It's a responsibility, right? You had that kid, so it's your responsibility. So how come when the other gender talk about children or house chores, they call it a job when it clearly it's not a job? I mean, if you had to clean a house, if you live by yourself, you have no kids, no husband, you still had to clean your house. You still had to cook, you still had to clean, you still had to do these things, right? Yeah, you might have to do more extra now because you have a kid and you have a husband in the house. But guess what? You don't have to pay as much expenses anymore because you got this guy taking care of you, right? So I won't go too much into the dynamic of male and female. I'm just saying, like, I think male are the oppressed one. I think men are manipulated men. They are manipulated, right? So like I said, everything is catered to women. If you think about anything in the industry, it's catered to women, you know. And as men, we are driven by our biology so much that we'll do anything just to be satisfied in that aspect. And I think that men love women, and women are in business, right? So they are that's men weakness, right? Is their sexual, I would say their sexual energy is their weakness, right? And women know how to use that very well against men, right? So they say, hey, in order for you to get this, you need to do this, right? But a man will have no stipulation for a woman. It'll be the basic, right? She just needs to have the basic. Come on, let's go. Now you see more men standing up. They'll say, hey, no, she needs to have this, she needs that. There's more men opening up more because they got a space to speak and compare notes and stuff like that. So they're able to, excuse me, they're able to do more, able to ask more, right? So, um, mm. So yeah, so I think that's what it is, man. Because if you really look at it, the other gender have it very easy. Life is made easy for them. I mean, we invented machines, all kind of things to make their life easy for them, right? And I think that you could never please the other gender. As a man, you find it very hard. You're always trying to play catch up, right? So I look at it from this aspect that you are there to support her lifestyle, what her imagination, what her needs or wants are. That's what you are there for. You're a tool, you're a machine. All right. And a machine and a tool, they don't care about what happened to you. You're disposable. I think men of today that we are disposable. We could be worked to death to support people that really don't, I would say they don't really care about us as much as we can, as far as we can help them. As far as we can help them to achieve whatever, lifestyle that they want. Now, I'm not saying every woman are like that, but majority of them are. They like, you might have find maybe one you're in accord with, you can have a real deal with, but at the end of the day, I think it's their biology. They're built to find somebody they can easily manipulate, right? Because a man that cannot be easily manipulated, usually will be like an alpha type of male, and he'll be like, nah, you're not gonna make me do this, you're not gonna make me do that, you're gonna have to do this, you're gonna have to do that. And usually women, they really like those guys, but they won't settle down with those type of guys. The reason why is those guys cannot be manipulated very easily. So they'll tend to get with a like kind of like a beta type of male that can be easily manipulated. You know, he's safe. He goes to work. Like he believes in societal norms. He's safe, right? So he can easily be manipulated, right? He can be easily manipulated by his job. Like he can't leave his, he can't quit as easy. It's kind of like men are putting themselves back into a jail they're trying to escape, right? Because you will see guys like they like in a relationship or in a marriage, and they want to get out of it, right? And then when they finally get out of it, maybe not by their own choice um or the other, or they decide to leave, but they'll get right back into another one, right? And I'm guilty of that. We all, man. I mean, I think that the drive to be with a woman is it's so hard, man. That drive is so powerful that we're willing to lose our freedom for it. We're willing to just put ourselves up and say, man, you know what? It is what it is. Like I'm willing to go back to jail because I really want, the intimacy. I really want somebody for a long term partnership and things like that. So I'm willing to put myself back in it, back in the grind. I'm really, So yeah, and I think men will put their dreams aside. They will defer their dreams and stuff that they want, right? Because they have a saying for men, right? When they reach in their 40s and stuff like that, they say, "Oh, you're having a midlife crisis," right? Because the men usually around that age, they're like, "Yo, man, I'm doing really well for myself. I'm making money." But they ain't unable to live their life, right? Because they say, "Yo, I can buy the toys I always wanted to buy when I was a kid. I can live that dream life I always wanted," right? But men get shamed for that. By whom do they get shamed for that? Not by other men, but by women. They get shamed by women that no, you cannot live that life you always dream of. But women live the dream that they would live the life that they always dream of. To live a very comfortable feminine life, and the men take care of them. But as soon as the men say, "Hey, I want to go ahead and live the life I want to live. I want to, travel and drive a fast car, and be with a lot of ladies and truly be free," then he's automatically a bad guy, or he's going through a midlife crisis. You know, I think you guys should read this book called The Manipulated Man. I forgot the name of the author, but I think you guys should read it. It's a really great, awesome book. Every man should read it. Every young dude that's just started dating you should read it, because let me know if you guys disagree on this, right? Or men or the oppressed gender, or men are manipulated by the other gender. You know, are we constantly being swayed and pushed and shoved, like to act a certain way, to be a machine, to be a tool by the other gender, right? So they can have their way. Or is the other gender really truly the one that's running stuff? Because if everything's catered for them, right, and they spend majority of the spending, right, the money goes through their hand, right? Or they really the one in control? That's the type of question we gotta ask. We gotta talk about stuff like that. This is the space we finally have. We didn't have a space like that before. We couldn't talk about stuff like that before, because if men just talk about what's in their heart, what's in their mind, and stuff like that, and it's considered to be misogynistic. It's considered, oh, you're hurting my feelings, or it's your tone, or it's like men can't really talk without just being like shame. So finally now we know we can speak up. We don't care about shame. We don't care about the way you say this and that. We just gonna talk. We're gonna tell you how we feel and what we want and what we need from this. So no longer men want to be manipulated. No longer men want to be oppressed. We truly want to be free. A lot of men, that's what they want. And there's still some that's enslaved, and they're trying to keep more men enslaved. So let's talk about it, man. Welcome to the Wise One Awaken podcast. We here, man. We dropping videos constantly. So if you have any questions, any comment, post it down in the comment box, and we'll discuss it. We'll talk about it. Thank you for sharing the video. Thank you for liking it. Thank you for watching it. I appreciate you guys. Like and share. Wise One Awaken out. Let's go.